Hi guys, so this is my second message for the caregivers out there and people who just generally want to know more about what it's like and some tips that I've learned the harder way, of course, trial and error, um, in dealing with a parent who has Alzheimer's, dementia. My mother is still, thank God, in the earlier stages, although I have to tell you, as a scientist, it's not really rocket science. It's not that, you know, how when we talk about cancer, we have stages. So I believe that the same cannot really be said for this shifting, right, of proteins in the brain. Now, it's not as well delineated into stages. However, my mom, just had her second MRI really since the diagnosis. So it's been one per year. And I would say her symptoms started about 5 years really before the first diagnosis. Her symptoms started, and I actually noticed them first because I am her daughter. But the process of diagnosis can be quite long, especially, well, depending on where you live. For example, in the US, it can take a while. It's a lot of paperwork, and there's a lot of HIPAA challenges. And, I still have moments now where offices, doctors' offices, physicians' offices, health networks are contacting her and trying to get information out of her and making schedules with her. And it's frustrating, right? Because obviously the ability to make executive level decisions is already compromised. And so there's a whole lot that goes into it. But the key word right now for this message is patience. I want you to have patience with yourself through this process. I want you to have patience with, obviously, your loved one through this process. But most important is that in knowing that you've never done this before, no one taught you, you're not a trained professional yet, you will make mistakes. We all make mistakes. Have grace with yourself and your loved one. It's difficult seeing them in a new light. It's not just, oh, my parent is now aging. It's a whole layer of shifts in personality, in behavior, in obviously the dynamics between you. You essentially lose your parent, but not just as a parent, as a person. It's a daily grief cycle that you live. And only people who are in that position can truly understand it. A caregiver who is not a family member, they understand it from a very different perspective, and one that is really important that you get. But family, my heart goes out to you because I know that you feel the loss, and perhaps you even feel a slight bit of guilt and shame for feeling the grief because your parent is still very much there. Just remember, this is a different person now. different neurons firing different pathways. You know, the foods that they once loved, maybe they don't anymore. And you know, the next day it might shift again. The hobbies may change. Little things. The way, the name they call you even. I mean, I know that that's really one of the things that I most dread is when my mom no longer remembers me. And, you know, we're not at that point, but it's been hard when certain memories are challenged, you know. So I don't want to leave you in tears here. What I want to share with you is that not only do you become parent to yourself at this point and parent to your parent, you become the keeper, right, of all of their memories that you can remember, of all of the times that you shared together. Start writing these things down. Start sharing them with your loved one. Have patience with yourself, have patience with them, and understand every single day they are there, they are different. And it's kind of like forcing you to live in the present moment all the time. There's a beauty to that, because we all as humans tend to romanticize the past. But when you're dealing with someone who may not recall their past, may only remember pieces, may have fragments, some true, some not, the present and that connection that you forge with your parent in that present moment, that is the most important thing. All right, well, let me know what you think, and I'd love to hear your stories too. I'm going to share 2 messages every week. You know, we'll talk about medications, and I'm happy to go into the biology of it. I am a biologist, and a researcher, and a journalist, so I will be definitely doing that. All right, take care.